Hey everyone, I'm Mike from the parkprodigy.com, and Universal Orlando just changed how Halloween Horror Night works. So if you end up planning this year the way you've planned last year, you're going to end up spending more time in line, and you can even end up wasting an extra $70 for something that you already own. And so that's why in today's video, I'm about to break down the most important changes and tips for this year's Halloween Horror Nights. And of course, we do have 10 brand new haunted houses, and with that is coming one of the biggest ticket shakeups in years. And that's why in today's video, I'm going to give you pretty much the best strategies to get through the haunted houses the quickest, and also how to save the most money. So if you are in the process of planning that trip to Universal's Halloween Horror Nights, just be sure to stick around until the end of this video. As always, I'm very excited, so let's go get started. Thank you again so much for checking out this video. Like I said, I'm about to break down some of the best tips and tricks for this year's Halloween Horror Nights. And if it seems like you need more videos like this, just be sure to hit that subscribe button, as I have a lot more Universal Orlando planning videos coming out in the coming weeks. But we're going to jump right in. We're going to jump into one of the biggest changes to come to Halloween Horror Nights in the recent years, and that is going to be the 2 p.m. change to when the haunted houses actually start to open for guests. So if you're unfamiliar, Universal Orlando has something that's called Scream Early. It's essentially a paid version to get quote unquote early access to some of the haunted houses that are open during Halloween Horror Nights. The Scream Early ticket as of this year typically costs around, I would say, $70 to $80, depending on the night that you're visiting. And just like it sounds, what it allows you to do is kind of extend your Halloween Horror Nights, hours and get extra hours. Now, what's interesting this year compared to years past is Universal has announced that at 2 p.m. they're going to have 3 haunted houses open for guests who have a Scream Early ticket. Now, there is an additional way to take advantage of these extra hours if you are visiting Halloween Horror Nights, and if you do have a Universal Studios Florida admission ticket, which I'm going to break down in a few. But that's pretty much the big update. The update is that if you have the right ticket types for your Halloween Horror Night event, you can start to get into 3 haunted houses at 2 p.m. And I think this is a game changer for a couple different reasons. You'll see when we start to break down, the average wait times and stuff like that, when it comes to these 10 haunted houses, truthfully, in the past, if you don't get it on the right night, it could be very difficult in order for you to possibly do all 10 haunted houses. So I feel like this new sort of 2 p.m. start time for 3 houses allows families to have a good chance of getting through everything they want to during their Halloween Horror Nights event. And so you might be thinking, well, Mike, what are the 3 haunted houses? Like, is this worth the extra money, quote unquote? And so from what we could see right now, the 3 haunted houses are going to be Jack and Oddfellow, Chaos and Control, Stranger Things 5, and Hellraiser. It could be different, might not. From what I could see right now, that's what I am seeing as being the 3 houses that will be open. And so now the cool thing that you do have to take into account is one of the other things that Universal has announced, that there are going to be some more houses where the queues are going to open up at 4 p.m. And then at around 5:15, they actually might start letting people through. And so the thing to keep in mind here is the official Halloween Horror Night start time isn't till 6:30. So as you could see, if they're starting to let people into the 3 houses around 2 p.m., and then they could potentially let you into some more houses around 5:15, you pretty much have an extra 4.5 hours compared to, let's say, folks who are coming in for the regular start time. And that is huge. I think if you just look at it based on if you're purchasing the Scream Early ticket, like I said, which is around $70 to $80, if you just look at it like that, and you're not the type of family to really stay in the park until 1 a.m., 2 a.m. when Halloween Horror Night closes, I really love this. I think it gives you a great chance to take advantage of more houses and not have to stay in the park super, super late and still get through everything. Okay, but I'm not stopping there. Some of the other important things that you do have to sort of keep in mind now when it comes to the tips. As you can imagine, if they're going to start to let people into the haunted houses at 2 p.m., but at, around like 4 p.m., you could start to queue for other houses. 5:15, they're starting to let some people into possibly some other houses. There are going to be some gaps here. And what you can do is don't forget that you also do get to go on some rides during Halloween Horror Nights. So if you do have some gaps, let's say between 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and you don't want to stand in one of those queues, you can go possibly take advantage of some of the rides within Universal Studios Florida. And what you could do is, if you are going to go on rides during Horror Nights, you'll plan around the rides that are open during Horror Nights. And what I'm essentially getting at is you would try to essentially hit some of the rides that won't be open during Horror Nights during that sort of gap period between the park being open for regular guests and then switching over to Horror Night guests, which is at 5 p.m. the park will close for regular guests. So the rides that are typically open during Halloween Horror Nights based on years past are definitely going to be Revenge of the Mummy, Transformers, and Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts. Now, speaking of Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts, one of our favorite things within Halloween Horror Nights has been, don't forget that the Death Eaters can be found within Diagon Alley. So Universal has confirmed that the Death Eaters will be back in Diagon Alley. And if you're unfamiliar with it, it's just a really, really cool vibe back there. The Death Eaters are sort of walking around, and then, every once in a while they're sort of do like their stage quote unquote show. If you're a Harry Potter fan, in my opinion, and you kind of lean towards the dark arts, I definitely think this is something that you need to experience. And what I would say too is one of the cool tips and tricks is we typically do see them coming out a little bit earlier in the night. So you don't have to wait till that 6:30 start time to see the Death Eaters in Diagon Alley. Based on years past, they have been out. Now, one of the other important tips and tricks that we are going to kind of see impacting this year is the death of the Frequent Fear plus Express Pass. So for those who might not be as familiar with the Universal Orlando parks and the ticket options, Universal used to have a quote unquote Fear Pass that came with a bundled Express Pass. It was an annual pass for Universal Halloween Horror Nights, and it would give folks the Universal Express Pass, but they actually discontinued it this year. And so this is good and bad, right? So the bad news for folks like myself who live in Orlando and who possibly might want to have taken advantage of this ticket type, it is no more. We can't purchase it anymore. But the good news is what this might possibly do is actually make the Universal Express Pass for Halloween Horror Nights work that much more, because it's going to be less people on those Express Pass lines. And so here's the tip that you do have to keep in mind is if you definitely do want to sort of not show up at 2 o'clock and you're trying to really just skip the lines whenever possible and you are going to purchase the Universal Express Pass, you definitely do have to budget it into your vacation, because the Universal Express Pass is significantly more expensive than your regular Halloween Horror Nights ticket. So I actually looked at the average Express Pass prices. You kind of spread out through September and October, and the average single-use Universal Express Pass price was $264 per person. September actually came in averaging $249. October came in averaging $277, and that fluctuates really from the low being $230 per person to the high being $300 per person. And so as you could see, what I'm getting at here is you have to plan for this. You have to budget. Could be an impulse buy, but this is an expensive impulse buy that I definitely think you want to be familiar with and aware of coming down to Halloween Horror Nights. And one of the cool things that I did for this video is if you are on the fence and you're trying to figure out, hey, like, is a $230 sort of Express Pass night worth it, which is the cheapest, what that equates to when you divide it over the haunted houses is it's pretty much $23 per haunted house. But on the obviously most expensive night where it's $300, it's $30 per haunted house. And on the season average, it comes out to $26 per haunted house. So you can make that decision for yourself and figure out like, hey, is it worth it or not? But stick with that, because that kind of brings me now into my next sort of planning and budgeting aspect and tips and tricks of this video. And that is trying to figure out, okay, well, if the Universal Express Pass is that expensive, well, is the Scream Early ticket then really worth it for me at that price point? And as you could see, when we start to break it down, if I said the Scream Early was really between $70 to $80, and you now have potential to get onto, let's say, 3 haunted houses using your Scream Early ticket, well, those 3 haunted houses, if you take, let's just say 70 divided by 3, it actually comes out to $23.33 per haunted house. And if that number sounds familiar, that is actually the same price per house as the cheapest Universal Express Pass night. If you remember, the cheapest night was $230 per Express Pass. That comes to $23 per house. So there's definitely a rhyme or reason to what Universal Orlando is doing here. Now, let's say that you sort of do the Scream Early, and you could potentially take advantage of, let's say, 2 more haunted houses during that 5:15 to 6:30 window. Can't guarantee it, but let's say that you have that in you and you do the right planning. Well, that brings your $70 Scream Early ticket down to a total cost per house of $14. So you can see here, there definitely is a way to game the system, and you can kind of get a really good bang for your buck. Now, what I do expect is there definitely still going to be long lines during your Scream Early, because you don't have an Express Pass. You essentially just have early access to the houses. But there are other guests who have early access to those same houses, and that is guests who have an admission ticket to Universal Studios Florida that day. And so the way that you can take advantage of Scream Early, let's say you have a base ticket. If you go to Universal Studios Florida that day, and then you also have a Halloween Horror Nights ticket for that night, you could essentially take advantage of Scream Early. It's the same thing if you have a park to park ticket. If you have a Universal Orlando park to park ticket, and you also have a Universal Halloween Horror Nights ticket for that night, you could hop over to Universal Studios Florida and take advantage of Scream Early. Now, the important thing for the park to park is if you're just trying to get in before, let's say, the 6:30 opening time, you have to be in that park before it closes. But I definitely think that folks with the regular admission tickets are going to be taking advantage of Scream Early if they have the Halloween Horror Nights ticket. I definitely see a popular question coming up being, well, Mike, if I only have an admission ticket, but I'm not going to Horror Nights, like, can I just go and enjoy like one or two haunted houses? No, unfortunately not. The way that Universal Orlando runs this is it's a wristband system. So if you've been to Disney, Mickey's Not So Scary, it's similar to that where you have to go check in. They'll scan your Horror Nights ticket and you'll get a wristband that will essentially allow you to go in and take advantage of the Scream Early quote unquote access. But finally, what is the way that you could save the $70 on the Scream Early? Let's say that you're going to Universal Orlando and hey, you're not planning to go to a park that day. You're going to chill, you're going to rest back at your hotel, but you also want to maybe go and take advantage of those Scream Early hours. Well, right now for a limited time, Universal Orlando is still running by 3 days. You get 2 days free. So if you already have, let's say, 3 days planned in the parks, you purchase a 3-day ticket, but now you're saying we're going to Halloween Horror Nights, you want to possibly take advantage of the Scream Early hours, you can upgrade and you can get 2 days free. It's the same thing, and you could save yourself the $70 per person. And if all of this seems way too much for you, if you haven't planned your trip yet, but you know that you want to take your family or you want to go and experience Universal Halloween Horror Nights, that's where we come in. My name is Mike. I own the Park Prodigy, and we are a You Preferred Platinum Universal Orlando travel agency. As you could probably tell, this is all we do all day, every day. We are planning Universal Orlando theme park vacations. If you want to learn more, if you want to get a free vacation package quote, just fill out the form down below and me and my team will reach out to you and help you plan an amazing Universal Orlando family vacation. You get hands-on service when you book through us, and you're actually guaranteed to save versus booking direct. So it's a win-win. Okay, but back over to the tips and tricks. And another one that does definitely matter if you're trying to get the most out of your Halloween Horror Nights night, and that is picking the right night to visit. And I would also say that picking the right night also impacts the type of crowd that's at Halloween Horror Nights, and I'll explain what I mean. So when it comes to sort of the quietest nights at Halloween Horror Nights, I definitely would book a weeknight in September. The first 2 weeks of September, historically at all of the theme parks in Orlando, are typically some of the quietest nights in all of the entire year. Single night tickets around that time of year start around $88 per person, and they climb, based as you get closer to Halloween. Now, the other important thing that my wife and I picked up last year is if you're trying to avoid like that high school rowdy crowd, and of course, given the houses this year, we have a Fortnite house, we have a Stranger Things house. Horror Nights this year has something for absolutely everyone, and I love that. What I would say is typically Friday and Saturday are going to have that sort of rowdy crowd where the kids, are the weekend for them. They don't have school tomorrow. So if you're looking for sort of quieter nights, I definitely would recommend Sunday, Wednesday, or Thursday when you're picking your Halloween Horror Nights event. And then also when it comes to sort of structuring your Halloween Horror Nights like night, we've spoken now, if you're going to take advantage of the early hours, that quote unquote Scream Early, you're going to get a lot of houses out of the way between 2 and 6:30. What you could potentially do now is if you're open to staying at the parks a little bit later, is when everyone comes in at 6:30, like that 6:30 to let's say 10:30 window is going to be slammed. The haunted houses wait times are going to be at their highest. So what you could do is kind of try to do the opposite of what most will do. So you try to get houses out of the way early, and then within that peak window of, let's just say 6:30 to 9:30, you eat the specialty snacks and you get some food, you go and check out the shows. You really try to get as much done that's not haunted house related as you can. Now, of course, you have to make sure that you are going to give yourself enough time, depending on when you're leaving, to get through all 10. But if you're willing to stay late, I definitely could see this working. You're sort of leaving that middle window when everything is at its peak for low peak stuff like scare zones, food, and shows. And then, of course, there's also some really cool stuff that we're looking forward to within the houses. I guess the house that we're expecting to be the busiest this year is definitely going to be Stranger Things 5. So be sure that you're prepared for this and definitely, have a game plan to get on this at the right time. Also, one of the really coolest sort of quote unquote tech houses that we're going to have this year is going to be Invasion Alien Abduction. And this is one of the houses that, from what we've seen so far, they're saying it's going to have a vibrating floor and that the effect is going to make you feel like the ship is passing overhead, which again sounds really, really cool and not something that I feel like we've seen before in years past. And then also another big one this year is going to be Jack and Oddfellow, why they're sharing a house this year. And if you don't know the backstory behind this, Oddfellow runs a traveling circus as a cover so he could harness dark forces tied to the Zodiac. Everything he builds is about control. And then you have Jack, who is the opposite, which is pretty much pure chaos and there's no plan. So for the first time ever, we have these two sharing a house, which is really, really cool. Some of the other important things to keep in mind that you don't want to miss is the Lagoon show this year. If you're coming with your family, you have younger kids, or just in general, you're into Stranger Things, the Lagoon show at Halloween Horror Nights is called Stranger Things Return to Hawkins. And I definitely think this is going to pull heavy crowds, so be sure to plan around it. Again, if you're trying to hit the show, this is the show in the middle of Universal Studios Florida in the Lagoon area. And then Nighttime Fuel is back. It's not the same sort of performers from what I've seen online, but they do have a new stage show, which is called Nightmare Fuel Blood Noir. And Universal describes it as a dark musical journey through a vampires-ridden metropolis. And Nightmare Fuel, I also will say, is consistently one of the most popular things at the event. If you're planning it right, you're trying to do this sort of in that peak period where you can kind of get out of the houses and see some of the shows. And of course, the scare zones this year are going to be really cool, with probably the biggest one being a Fortnite themed scare zone coming to Halloween Horror Nights. And of course, I can't forget, if you are watching this video and you're sort of on the fence about Horror Nights because you feel like it might just be a little bit too intense for you, there is an option. You do have to purchase it. So Universal has what's called the Deathly Afraid necklace. So if you're bringing someone who's lower scare tolerance and you still want to be able to go and enjoy the event, it's about $20. And it essentially is a necklace you wear, and it signals to scare actors in the scare zones that you might be a little bit of a scaredy cat and that, they will leave you alone. So I love this. I think it allows a little bit of everyone to go and enjoy Halloween Horror Nights. And also, last but not least, this was a last minute addition to this video, but Universal announced that there's going to be hotel lounges this year. So some of the ones that we're expecting to see is over at Lowe's Royal Pacific. We have Universal Monsters Laguna Lounge, which is over at Jake's American Bar. It's getting completely transformed into a classic monster hideaway with a mid-century tiki look. And we're talking like Frankenstein's monster, the Bride of Frankenstein, the Invisible Man, all sort of built into the theme of the bar. Over at Universal Stella Nova Resort, the premise is the exhibit where something went wrong. So some kind of substance has breached containment and it's creeping and pulsing like it's alive. Universal Cabana Bay typically has a really cool one. This year it's called the Pumpkin Lord Bar, where the fan favorite Pumpkin Lord is back at Swizzle Lounge. And just in general, pretty much looks like every single Universal Orlando hotel has a specialty themed bar. So if you already booked, or if you're planning that Universal Orlando trip and you might want to decide which hotel you're booking based on the lounges, definitely be sure to go and check them out online. Or you can email me, mike@theparkprodigy.com, and I'll give you the description for every single lounge at this year's Halloween Horror Nights. But that is pretty much it, everyone. That is the most important tips and tricks and updates for this year's Halloween Horror Nights event. Like I said earlier in this video, if you are in the process of planning that Universal Orlando trip and it seems like you need a little additional help, just be sure to go down below and fill out the questionnaire form, and we will reach out to you to help you plan an amazing Universal Orlando family vacation. And for a limited time, as a thank you for sticking around all the way till the end of this video, I do have a special promo code you can go use on our website to save an extra $50 off your next Universal Orlando family vacation, and that promo code is going to be MAGIC50. But I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you all again so much for checking out this video, and until next time, I will talk to you soon.